the Day Gamer here. Thanks for tuning into my channel, and today I'm coming at you with another collections video. Right here we're going to cover my Game Boy Color library, because last video we did all the Game Boy carts, so now we're going to check out what I've got for the Game Boy Color. So as you can see, this collection video isn't too large. Got many more on the actual Game Boy than for the Game Boy Color. There it is, 20-some. Let's start off, well, I think I got them in alphabetical order. We got Alice in Wonderland. I'm a big Alice in Wonderland fan, and I had hopes for this game. It's alright. It's not that terrible. I didn't get too far. It could get better. It does do a decent job of following some story so far, so it's got that going for it. All in all, I'm kind of disappointed. I expected a lot more, but once again, I say it very often, it could be worse. Right next door we got Billy Bob's Huntin' and Fishin'. Now this is a definite unique title. It's pretty comical. The gameplay is rather poor, and so are the graphics, but as you can see there, I paid $1, and it was worth all of that. The Grinch, I'm a big fan of the old cartoon and the Jim Carrey movie, but not so much of that game. Halloween Racer. There's not a lot of actual Halloween themed games. You know, you got some spooky horror things, but this one is Halloween Racer. As you can see, it's rather lackluster. And then we got Micro Machines. Not a terrible title. It's similar to the NES game, but a downgrade, as to be expected. Right here we got a game I played the hell out of back in the day. Dave Mirra Freestyle BMX. Now I was and still am big into BMX. Don't really ride anymore because I'm fat and old, and there's no skate park around. But back in the day, this was really your only choice to play on the Game Boy, and man, did I put some hours into it. It was a thumb buster. I did like it. It was a cool game. It did not hold up well. Right next door, we've got quite a title. Motocross Maniacs 2. Now, as you may remember from my Game Boy collection video, Motocross Maniacs 1 is a fantastic game, and this is a graphical upgrade for sure with a splash of color. The sound's an A+, the controls are tight and smooth. It's a super fun, addicting gameplay. I like a lot about this game. Championship mode's pretty cool. You rack up points. A lot of neat little things, like you got to make sure you pick up gas so you don't run out of gas. I mean, it is, you were driving a dirt bike, they take gas. You can throw some little tricks out. They don't do anything for points though, but just all in all, this game is a ton of fun. Must have for under $5. Muppets, it's a total shit show. Terrible game. Wanted it to be fun, but it's not. Got a couple of Harry Potter titles here. Now the first one I didn't end up putting that much time or finishing, but the second one here I did actually complete. So Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, that's a fun one. It's like a Harry Potter RPG. Nefarious West talked about it a long time ago. I made sure I picked it up, and I really liked it. It was a solid game. It did follow a storyline. You know, the graphics for Game Boy Color were pretty good. It had a lot of depth to it. I liked it. It's a cool game for sure. Sean Palmer's Pro Snowboarder. Racing Rats. Road Champs. Simpsons Treehouse of Horrors. Yeah. This is definitely one of my favorite Game Boy Color cartridges. Aside from being a huge Simpsons fan, this is just a neat little game. Reminds me of Home Alone on Game Boy, or the Super Nintendo version. which I much prefer to both the NES and the Genesis titles. But this is a total fun game. You know, the graphics are okay. Once again, we're talking about Game Boy Color. Sounds not bad. Gameplay's pretty good. You know, like, this is a definite solid title. Simpsons Treehouse of Horrors. Make sure you add it to your library. The Smurfs Nightmare. Now, this is not a bad title either. The intro song, check it out. Not bad, right? Taking you back to the 80s. Actually, the Smurfs came out in like the 60s or something crazy. They're way old, but you know, back in the 80s, back in the day, I used to watch the Smurfs all the time. It's a solid little platformer. Nothing crazy. It's not terrible. Could have been better. Could have been worse. And speaking of could have been worse, Spawn. Super nah. I mean, this is a terrible game. Graphics suck. Controls aren't very good. Just, yeah, moving along. Spider-Man. Spider-Man is also not very good. TJ Levin's Ultimate BMX. $1 price tag. Not quite worth that dollar. So, there's 3 games left in my Game Boy Color collection, and there are these neat little rumble packs. So, first game, Ready to Rumble Boxing. This is okay. And then Little Mermaid 2 Pinball. Alright, disclosure, my wife is a huge Little Mermaid fan, and when I saw this I figured, what the hell, I'll pick it up. That's all you need to know about it. Rounding us off, we got Zebco Fishing. You know, I love me some fishing games, and most of them on the handhelds are just total crap. Well, this one's not too bad. Gameplay is easy to jump right into. It's not like a lot of fishing games where you have a huge problem landing fish. This one's pretty simple gameplay. What you're looking for if you're fishing on a handheld. Graphics aren't terrible. All in all, this is a solid fishing game for sure. I mean, if you're in the market for a handheld fishing game, that's a good place to start. So that rounds out the collection for Game Boy Color. There's a overhead pan shot once again of all of them. So there's just about, you know, 21 titles there. Nothing too spectacular, but the bulk of my handhelds were in the original Game Boy. So that covers all the titles I've got for the Game Boy Color. Let me know which ones I'm missing that I absolutely have to add to the collection, because that's my second favorite part of doing these videos. You guys letting me know what ones I need to pick up and add. So like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz. Stay tuned for the next edition. Is going to be Game Boy Advance. So then we can move on to the big consoles. Probably going to go to the NES from there. That one's going to be a 2-parter, I'm sure. So like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz. And until next time, YouTube, keep it retro!